The book The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, published in 1925, is based off of the author's life during the First World War in the Roaring Twenties. The text will be analyzed using a Marxist lens. The themes that are shown in the text are illusion versus reality and materialism. The passage that will be analyzed are pages 26 and 27. Throughout the book, there are several events which show the audience the separation of the social classes and how much people want to pursue this American dream. In the eyes of the author, the American dream is what has driven people of the lower classes to implement an illusion that is opposite to the actual reality of their life, so that they look like they're living a luxurious life when in reality their lives are the complete opposite. An example of this is when Tom and Nick are in the Valley of Ashes, waiting for Myrtle to get ready so that they can go to Tom's apartment in New York City for a party. The reality of Myrtle's life is described as a terrible place, page 26, by Tom himself. To put on an illusion, Myrtle does a couple of different things to try and make it look like she's not part of the working class. She had changed her dress to a brown-figured muslin. At the newsstand, she bought a copy of Town Tattle and the Moving Picture magazine. And in the station drugstore, some cold cream and a small flask of perfume, page 27. At this point, Myrtle is just buying things that are unnecessary just to try and show that she is a consumer and can afford the luxury of buying things that are just for pleasure. The Town Tattle appears to be some type of gossip magazine. The Moving Picture magazine is about the film industry and art. This is interesting because to be interested in film and the arts is something the upper class is into. It's not something the lower class is generalized into. She then buys a flask of perfume, also something that isn't a necessity. And then instead of buying actual food, Myrtle buys cold cream, which is a pleasure. She tries to get out of her class by attempting to give the illusion that she is a consumer, and she can afford the luxury of buying things for pleasure and not for necessity. Once Myrtle was finished, they all were waiting to find a taxi so that they can go in the cab from the station to Tom's New York apartment. Myrtle let 4 taxicabs drive away before she selected a new one, lavender colored with gray upholstery, page 27. She's trying to prove that she is of importance by being selective with the cab that she's getting in. When it's not that important, she's still going to get from point A to point B no matter what. This also ties into the theme of materialism. She's being materialistic by caring about how people see her in New York, which is what is pushing her to create this illusion and attempt to cover up her own reality. She attempts to show that she's high maintenance, she's a consumer from the Valley of Ashes, and she does it to try and chase the American dream. Immediately after getting in the car, she tells Tom that she wants to get a dog for the apartment, so they stop and find a man that's selling one. Myrtle says she'd like to get one of those police dogs, page 27. She wants a police dog because people get them as guard dogs, but she has nothing for it to guard, which is all again part of her illusion. But Tom is not fooled by this and tricks her by buying her an Airedale instead. He thinks of this breed of dog as a type of dog that someone in her class would own. Myrtle is tricked by this because of the similarity of features between the Airedale and police dogs. She is stuck in the lower class because of the capitalist system, which exploits the lower class by entrapping them in a false reality that someday they can achieve the American dream and climb up the social pyramid. Throughout the book, Tom is symbolic of an oppressive aristocratic figure, by giving Myrtle false hope that she can climb out of the lower class. As a result, she becomes high maintenance, keeping her in her own class. This is the illusion that Tom gives her, the idea that she can someday be with him in the upper class, when in reality, Tom is never going to leave Daisy for Myrtle. We can see this when he breaks her nose during the party and kills the mood because Myrtle kept saying Daisy's name. In conclusion, Myrtle is trapped by this false hope that is created by Tom, and furthermore she creates her own illusion of an upper-class lifestyle. These are ongoing themes throughout the book, the first being illusion versus reality, and the second being materialism.